Hi everyone, I'm Chris Walsh, CEO at AcadiaSoft, and I'm excited to kick off our 5th annual client conference in what we hope to be the best and only virtual one we do. As many of you know, what I enjoy most about my job is the opportunity to work with you, the tremendous group of people that make up the AcadiaSoft community. And this is for good reason. Over the past decade, we have worked together to set the industry standards and conquer so many challenges. And much of this critical discussion have happened here in these forums. So today, we're going to do everything we can to make this virtual event valuable to you. And in 2021, we hope to bring the group together in person and do it in a way that's both remarkable and safe. To set the stage for today's discussion, I wanted to take this opportunity to share 3 things as we enter into the final quarter of 2020. A roundup on our year to date, where we see the industry heading, and how AcadiaSoft's responding. So let's begin with an overview of what's been happening at AcadiaSoft in this very interesting year. January began as predicted for AcadiaSoft, as it did the world. We fully expected Phase 5 UMR to go live in September. We were working closely with a number of you to achieve this. Then came March. COVID hit hard, volatility and volume skyrocketed, regulations were delayed. Through all of this, one silver lining was that it provided the perfect test for RegTech providers like AcadiaSoft. AcadiaSoft was created and structured to protect market participants, especially during events like this. In March 2020, we saw the VIX jumping from over mid-teens to over 80 at one point, and with it we saw 80+% growth in calls. During peak hours, clients needed to process up to 500 more calls than a typical hour. I'm very happy to report we scaled up effectively during the period. Our systems coped, which means our clients coped. Disputes remained at steady with prior levels. And most importantly, clients have told us that they do not need to have to worry about the calls they had processed on AcadiaSoft, and instead were able to focus on the calls off AcadiaSoft where they still saw issues. Even with the unprecedented happenings of 2020, we have been successful pushing forward. Some noteworthy achievements include margin call automation rates increasing to nearly 80%. Interest statements are on a path to be fully automated on AcadiaSoft in the not-so-distant future, and has kicked off what will be an automation of the full client relationship. Threshold monitoring has started, preparing us for what now is a 2021 milestone. Let me shift now to where we see the industry going, plus some thoughts on how this is impacted by our current pandemic. Overall, we see collateral management on a path towards risk prevention, with the majority of the issues seen today are resolved before they happen. Why do we believe this? Some of it's not new. Electronic margining has been gradually shifting our industry away from hands-on collateral management to exception management for the better part of a decade. We are nearing the point where all calls are electronic, when we'll be primed for a whole new level of automation. This whole new level will be enabled by what I call deep SDP. Just like deep learning systems look deep into data to draw certain conclusions, so will your workflow systems to determine whether that call exception needs to be looked at and by whom. If one party always books late credit trades on T1, what's the value of chasing that dispute on T0? Once your systems can understand workflow at that deep level, they can separate the noise from the much smaller set of exceptions that need to be looked at. Once exceptions rates get to that smaller level, and the cause is more known, they can be routed directly to credit or some other empowered function to resolve. Widespread electronic messaging plus deep SDP could catalyze the end of collateral management as we've known it. The counterparty relationship fully automated. The routine day-to-day processes will be consumed by technology, as will the management of the majority of exceptions. Organizations will change. Collateral management becomes principally a technology function with the best operational SMEs as its architects and monitors. User-driven collateral management systems will evolve to no-touch collateral platforms. Here is the best part. Focus can then shift to risk-preventing efforts. Integration with pre-agreed trusted sources of data, improved front office interactions, improved data sourcing and cleanup. That is the path to risk prevention that we are on. Now, how does this pandemic impact this? We believe the pandemic could accelerate us along this path. There's no denying we're at a pivotal point in our industry. Market participants are still asking, how will work get done in the future? What businesses and functions will be disrupted? If we can survive without buildings, what else can we survive without? And if it's all automated, who cares where it's done? Much of this thinking has not gone mainstream yet. We have a function that's primed for productivity gains in an industry which is more open-minded to change and seeking significant productivity gains. Both provide the impetus to transform faster. This brings me to my final point. How is AcadiaSoft responding? We need to be transformational to enable our clients to be transformational. We are doing this by automating more workflows, simplifying UMR implementations, and providing new tools. I mentioned earlier the need to keep supporting firms in the final phases of UMR. And when we do so, we need to make sure automation is there from the start. And the key to this is simple adoption alternatives for the up to 250 phase 5-6 firms who are expected to be in scope in the coming years. Along with this, commitment to standard established communications with their phase 1 through 4 counterparts. Last, to get to deep SDP with low levels of exceptions, data and analytic capabilities are key. We rolled out this year our Acadia Plus Data Exploration Suite. For the first time, you have access to data pulled together from every aspect of all AcadiaSoft and partner services that can revolutionize the way you operate, from industry and peer group comparisons to dispute monitoring, volume trend analysis, periodic real-time. We believe that data exploration sets the stage for firms to achieve this deep SDP and optimize their operations and risk management functions. So as you can see, we're providing capabilities to fully automate your counterparty relationships and advance towards deep SDP, each which pave the way towards risk prevention. Thank you for listening to my keynote address. I hope it provided some insights, food for thought for the remainder of the day today. We at AcadiaSoft are passionate about what we're doing. We're passionate about working with you, our user community, to set standards and drive forward the industry. As mentioned in the opening, I wish I could have been here in person with everybody today, as we have been in prior years. I hope you enjoy the rest of the forum. Thank you to guest speakers and all that have given up their time generously to share perspectives today. It's so important to the evolution of our business. Enjoy the rest of the event.